Hey everybody, did you know that Christelle can talk to, listen to, and activate crystals? And if you're thinking to yourself, what is that even? I don't know. Well, you're going to find out because I'm really intrigued to understand a lot more about that. And I asked her if she would share a little bit. So, could you share a little bit about what the hell that means?
Well, of course, I would be happy to. So first I want to have you introduce yourself so people know who is having this conversation with me.
Yeah. All right. Cool. My name is Amanda Eloesh. I'm San Francisco's leading spiritual success mentor.
Woohoo! And I'm Christelle Arcucci, the founder of the Soul Purpose Network. And we're going to talk about crystals. We're going to start with crystals and then we're going to see where that takes us. Yes. So my relationship with crystals started when I was a little girl. And I grew up in the Midwest in a very non-woo-woo environment. But I was drawn to meditation and yoga at a very young age. I was drawn to crystals. I fell in love with them and started collecting them as a very young girl. Most of my relationship with crystals has been very intuitive, meaning that I only now am in a training to learn about the healing qualities of crystals. But I've been in relationship with crystals for, since I was a young girl. And the wisdom that they have to share with us, like this necklace has several different gemstones in it, and then it's all knotted
That
together.
she made herself.
Yes, this
She
is
made
my
it.
first mala. I've been making jewelry for
beautiful.
ages, but this is the first mala, which has 108 beads and is generally used for meditation. But each one of these different gemstones has different qualities. For me, I really focus on the intuitive feeling that I have about stones. Like I have books where I can look it up and be like, okay, well, clear quartz is for this, and black onyx is for this, and labradorite is for this, which from my experience is more challenging to trust myself, right? Because it's just like, oh, well, I didn't learn this from a book. I learned it from the stone itself, which saying that out loud is like, why can't I get it through my head? Like that the stone is telling me. So why do I need to learn it from a book? So part of why I share that,
the book's smarter than the stone.
Exactly. So that's the main thing that I want to share with you is like follow your intuition. And like when I go into a store to buy stones, they choose me.
Yes.
They choose me, and they're like, take me with you. I have some medicine to teach you. And so then there was a point in time which I started activating stones, and that was the crystals, the gemstones, they all have wisdom. And just like anything, when we activate the stone or the object or the land or our home with specific intention, it amplifies the power of it. And it's so one of
So
those.
that's what activate means, is to amplify whatever frequency it's already resonating.
As well as to bring it into alignment with who the person is. Like I activated a stone for Amanda, and so it's like the stone has power and Amanda has power. Then we take the intention and we make a third piece.
Oh, cool.
Right? Where
Nice.
it's like the stone and Amanda come in and create this, just like any relationship, where then it creates this third.
Yeah.
Where then it's like the relationship of you with the stone and your intention. And then you add me into the mix and it amplifies the power of it, right? Because as you bring more parts together in the same, with the same intention, the more it amplifies it.
Cool. That's so cool to know. That's so cool to know. Thank you so much. I need to speak up so you can hear me.
Yes. Well, hopefully you can hear her. So that is, and different stones, and the thing, like, this is labradorite, which is one of my very favorite stones, because it has this mystical quality beneath it, where it's like it appears green, but then when you look at it closely, there's this iridescence and rainbows. And to me, it represents the mystery, like the unseen. And there's one level of appearance, but there's so much more that's possible and available beyond that. So for me, that's one of the reasons why I'm most drawn to like labradorite and moonstone and these stones that have these multiple layers and different angles. They look completely different.
Yeah.
And
Me too.
and so I say go with your intuition and let the stones teach you. And it's a practice of moving our minds to the side.
Mhm.
Right, and cultivating that practice of intuition.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to collect rocks all the time, and I'm sure that they had wisdom. But then when I got older and I remember cleaning out my closet and seeing the box of rocks, I was like, that's stupid, and I threw them away. I know. Now I feel really bad, but I do appreciate stones and the stone beings, and I meditate, and I definitely, like, I feel drawn to them, and I kind of don't care what they mean, although I do look it up.
Yes.
But my relationship, I'm really cultivating getting to the point where I can hear plants. So I work with plant medicines. I bring people to the Amazon to work with ayahuasca and other amazing plants that clean people out, body, mind, and spirit. And then I work with Wachuma here in the US, also known as San Pedro. And when I ingest those plants, or when I'm about to offer a ceremony and I start tuning in, they start to speak to me. And I want to cultivate a greater relationship so that I can listen to all the plants. Because the last time I really had a profound experience like that, I was walking, this is close to my house, and on a trail, and all of a sudden the plants just said, we're your ancestors. And, you know, not just like the mental, like, oh, we're all one, we're all related. It was like, no, like the Miwok lived here, and they died here, and they buried their grandmothers and grandfathers who became compost and part of this earth. And then the earth grew plants that the people and the animals ate, and the people ate the animals. It was like actually, you know, like throughout the centuries, until we started preserving people's bodies, which I find is weird, and I don't want to have happen to me, but you know, people went right into the earth, and they became the thing that fed the next generations, literally. And they were like, we have all this wisdom, and they were just sharing these downloads, and it was so beautiful. And I want to be better at listening to those transmissions, because a lot of the time I'm deaf to those things. But for me, that's what shamanism is really creating a relationship where you don't need to look at a book, you don't need to rely on somebody else's intuitive hit that they wrote in a book and then published. You can get your own download about, is this good medicine for me? Is this a stone a teacher for me? Is it going to help me heal my heartache or my memory or my ability to talk to plants or stones? And I think the more we do that, the more we're empowered, right? We're not reliant. There's so much weird shit out there on the internet. There's so much weird shit out there, and so much made up stuff and fake stuff and Photoshop stuff, and now video can be really faked. And so it's so important to be able to really tune into what's the wisdom between you and that thing you're interacting with, and what's that truth.
Yes, which is such a great teaching, and to bring it to, you know, the simplicity of having communication with the plants that you're eating on a daily basis, right? Because all of us ideally are eating lots of plants, right? And so, like, for me, there have been different times in my life where I was allergic to something that was really healthy for me. So it was like something was out of sync in my body. So that cultivating that listening, like, so what, kale is good for you. At a certain point in time, I was allergic to kale, so it wasn't good for my body. But I think cultivating that connection to plants and to, you know, this, as we were picking this spot, Amanda was talking about the stone people behind us, is cultivating that connection with the earth, and the earth that we walk upon, not just sacred sites, because really any site can be sacred by being fully present with it and listening to the wisdom of it.
I hope, yes. And all those things.
And so it is.
So it is.
So that's our teaching for today. So Amanda, where can they find more about you?
You can find out more about me and my ceremonies and my trips at eloesh.com, ELOESH.com. That's my middle name. Wear it out. How about you?
And I'm Christelle Arcucci. You can go to soulpurposepath.com and make sure to like, share, and comment on this video. We'll see you next time.